So I just parked. I'm going to take the train down to Toronto to see a few movies today, including I'm Still Here.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to Steven Watches Movies. I'm Steven and I love watching movies. Well, today is the day. I'm going to be diving into I'm Still Here, the 2024 Brazilian film that is making waves all across the world. It combines psychological drama, social commentary, and raw human emotion, all rolled into something that's so powerful and affecting. I'm Still Here is not just a movie. It's a powerful retelling of actual events that impacted a real family and other families in the 1970s in Brazil. Ultimately, it's a film about love, resilience, injustice. Anyway, let's just dive in because there's a lot to talk about. Directed by the legendary Walter Salles, I'm Still Here is a deeply emotional and historically significant film that tells the story of Eunice Paiva's relentless search for her husband, Rubens, after his disappearance during Brazil's military dictatorship. The film has gained massive critical acclaim worldwide, recently with Fernanda Torres being nominated for Best Actress at the Golden Globes and winning, which was amazing. She also has been nominated for an Academy Award for Best Actress recently. The film has been nominated for Best International Feature at the Oscars, as well as Best Picture, which is no small feat. So later in the video, I'm going to get to all the critical acclaim, audience reaction, my thoughts on Oscar chances, and really just my thoughts and feelings on all of that. But right now, let's talk about what makes I'm Still Here such an essential and powerful film to be seen.
Perspective and impact.
With this film, we really follow Eunice Paiva's emotional journey. So at the beginning of the film, there is a lot of love, a lot of celebration, a lot of humor. Very, very, very humorous film in the beginning anyway. There are moments of anxiety and fear and hesitation for what's happening outside their door. Of course, they even have discussions and there's things like that. But for the most part, it's kind of this ideal family life at the beginning, which then makes it all the harder to deal with as you're going through the film. With that being said, that we do follow it through Eunice Paiva's perspective, and it's wonderfully done. But I would even argue that this film does an incredible job of showing the events of the film and even just the feelings and emotions from the children's perspectives. And I feel like they did a really good job of showing each of the children independently and their viewpoints on what's happening, whether it be at large. You know, you have one of the daughters is very much politically knowledgeable. She knows what's going on. There's this wonderful scene at the beginning of the film, and I say wonder, and I'll get to why I say wonderful, because it's not wonderful for the characters. The one daughter is out with friends, and she has this encounter with the Brazilian military forces. It was wonderful in terms of storytelling and in terms of film construction, because it really set up this. Well, first of all, it's a switch. Like, they're in the car, they're blasting tunes, they're having a wonderful time, and then all of a sudden they get to this sort of like vehicle checkpoint, and then the tone just shifts. And that's why I say that the scene is wonderful, because it was so wonderfully constructed, directed, acted, everything. Because the tone switches very quickly, but the tone, how do I even describe it? Like, it puts you in that place in time within seconds. And it really succeeded as well, because we had kind of heard some things up to this point, but then we actually see it. We see something that triggers that feeling of anxiety and that things are not going to go well. Like, when I went into this movie, I will say that I knew that the husband disappears. That's basically all I really knew about this film. I didn't watch a trailer because I didn't want to kind of spoil anything. Obviously, the comments on YouTube, everyone's been saying, you know, I'm Still Here. It's fantastic. Fernanda Torres, her performance is amazing. But I went into it without really diving in, because I really wanted to just go in fresh. And so that scene was very powerful to me, because it really set the tone. Actually, going back, I will say that the very first shot of the film sets the tone for the movie really well. It's one of the best opening shots of all of last year, and I'll get to that in a little bit. But that scene was wonderful. And then the son at one point adopts a dog. I thought that was a really great way of showing the son's viewpoint on all of the horrors that are happening outside their door, because every time he's with the dog sort of protects him from that. Protects him from that fear, protects him from that anxiety. He's just a kid. He just wants to go and play with his friends, with his dog. So he has no cares in the world, but it's almost like that protection is there. And then something happens later in the movie and that protection is kind of lost. And so now he sees the world in a different way. So I thought that was kind of an interesting way of kind of setting that up. Then you have the youngest daughter. She is kind of like the son, where through the film, she's kind of protected from it. There's not a lot of discussion about what's happening, in Brazil at large, or even what's happening with her dad. But then later in the movie, when they have to move from their house, there's this wonderful, wonderful shot of the daughter just looking inside the empty house, and very, very powerful. But again, that's when her worldview changes. Anyway, that was a long-winded way of saying that I really appreciated Walter's ability to have the audience understand where the children are at throughout the film, but also to see that it did impact them in different ways. Each of the children are impacted in a different way at different times in the film. And I thought that was brilliant. But overall, again, going back to my original statement, overall, we see this film through Fernanda Torres's Eunice Paiva. Even though this film captures the fear and anxiety and grief in such an amazing way, ultimately the film is about love. The love of Eunice and Rubens, and from them to their children. And family love. A lot of times when people say that a film grips you and doesn't let go and it holds you to the very end, a lot of the time it's just exaggeration, right? It's a lot of critics who are just trying to get their name on the poster and what have you. This film did grip me right from the opening shot, and it did not let me go. I've been thinking about this film ever since I saw it. I saw 2 more films the day that I went to see this. So here's my ticket. So I did see I'm Still Here at the TIFF Lightbox. And then right after I saw Nickel Boys, and right after that I saw The Brutalist. And I can say I need to see Nickel Boys again, because I saw Nickel Boys right after I'm Still Here. But when I sat down, I wasn't thinking about Nickel Boys. I was thinking about I'm Still Here. When Nickel Boys ended, I was thinking about I'm Still Here. But honestly, I think I'm Still Here ruined it for me, because I just kept thinking about I'm Still Here during the runtime of Nickel Boys. So that's just to illustrate the point of this impacted me in a huge way. Performances. A film this emotional relies on incredible performances, and I'm Still Here delivers fully. Everyone, top down. There is not a weak link of acting. It is incredible. Starting with Fernanda Torres as Eunice Paiva. Wow. One of my last videos was the reaction of the Oscar nominations that came out. And I got a lot of comments that were very favorable and positive towards Fernanda Torres. Everybody said Fernanda Torres' performance was incredible. She is such a great actress. Things like that. I'm not saying that I didn't believe those comments, because I did. I did 100% believe those comments. However, I did think that maybe there was just like a little bit of inflation there, right? Because when I get super excited about a film, maybe I take it a little bit too far, right? I think we all do it, right? When we lock in on that film that we think is amazing, or a performance is amazing, or we have some sort of connection to it or something like that, we do tend to kind of inflate it a little bit. So it's not that I wasn't believing, but I was a little bit nervous, because I was like, I wonder if it's gonna hit that high, because honestly, everybody was putting the standard for a performance way up here. And so I was like, well, will it deliver? Well, I can confidently say that after seeing I'm Still Here, every single one of you was 100% accurate. There was no exaggeration. There was no inflation of excitement or love for the performance or the film itself. You all were spot on. Fernanda Torres is incredible. When I finished this film, I wanted to immediately look up what else she was in. So last night, actually, I looked up Fernanda Torres to see if any of her films were available to me so I could watch them. Sadly, I have not been able to find a single Fernanda Torres film that is available currently. So I'm gonna have to do a little bit of digging. I'm gonna have to probably go and see if any of her films are available on Blu-ray or DVD that I can get a hold of, because they're not on any of the streaming platforms. The film is also rounded out by an incredible supporting cast. Like I said, this film is phenomenal from top to bottom. Every single actor in this came to work. And work they did. Even the child actors are great. I'm usually pretty mixed on child actors because they can be hit or miss, right? But these child actors were really, really good. Fernanda Montenegro is also in this, and I thought that was kind of interesting, but also, I mean, I don't know, is this a mild spoiler? If you haven't seen this film, well, I don't know what to tell you, but go see this film. But Fernanda Montenegro is in this, plays Eunice later in life. And in reality, if you don't know, Fernanda Montenegro is Fernanda Torres' mother. I love this bit of casting because they easily could have gone one of two ways. They easily could have aged Fernanda Torres up. The second route that they could have taken is just casting somebody who looks like Fernanda Torres a little bit and is that age. Because she's Fernanda Torres' mother, you can tell Eunice Paiva earlier in the film looks like that Eunice Paiva. You can make the connection. And also Fernanda Montenegro, like I don't know much about her, but other than the fact that she was nominated for an Academy Award as well, which is very interesting that, you know, like mother, like daughter. But her scene is a key scene in the film near the end. It is so incredibly subtle. There is so much power in that performance. One last quick thing that I wanted to say about performances. Selton, who plays Rubens, phenomenal performance as well. The one scene which is a standout is when he's being escorted from his home. And you can just see it in his face. The performance that he gives in his face, and he doesn't do much with it. It's kind of like the Fernanda Montenegro scene near the end, where she doesn't really do much with her face, but it's enough. It's in fact more than if she gave more. So same thing with Selton. If he gave more of a performance in this scene, it would lose all power. But it's just enough. You know, he's standing at the car, about to get in the car and be escorted to the military compound, or I don't remember exactly what it was. And he looks at his wife and he gives the smallest of smiles. And it's just there, and he's like, you know, and even in talking with his children as he's getting ready, you know, it's very positive. He's joking with them. He's got smiles on, but there's something different about that from what we've seen throughout the rest of the film, because he is a very humorous guy, and he's very light, and he loves his family, and you can tell that through the beginning of the film. But the difference between those smiles and that laughter and that warmth that he gives is completely different from the warmth and the laughter and the smiles and the love that he's giving his family in that scene. And you can just feel it. You can feel it. You know what's happening. You know that he knows what's happening. I think that's the most powerful part. But he also knows that his wife knows. And his kids don't know. And that's why he's kind of like trying to make it light. But he's even light with his wife. He doesn't make it heavy. He makes it very like, hey, you know, I'll be home by dinner kind of thing. And that scene is absolutely crushing. I gotta say, there are a lot of scenes in this film that crush you. That's the thing, is I don't typically tear up or cry during films. I think the reason why I teared up in that scene particularly is because of Sultan's performance and just the subtleties in his voice, the subtleties in his facial expressions, the subtleties of the direction of the scene, and how Walter was able to shoot it and edit it together in a way that just, it hurts. The scene hurts. Critical reception. I'm Still Here has received pretty much universal acclaim. Like, there's not a single person who doesn't like it. Actually, there is, and I'll get to that in a second because it's wild. But anyway, currently it has a 96% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. Not that that actually means anything, because we all know Rotten Tomatoes is not exactly the best indicator, but it's just something. The popcorn meter is also a very high 98% as well. Peter Howell from the Toronto Star says, Torres' deeply internalized performance exerts a magnetic appeal, pulling us into her character's unimaginable grief and loss as she fights to remain strong for her family. Ann T. Donahue from the Globe and Mail says, it's a beautiful performance, made even more impactful by its basis in reality. I'm Still Here is a timely, exquisite masterpiece. Mike McGranahan from Aisle Seat says, no sane person could walk away from the movie untouched. Leonard Malton says, we have seen families depicted on screen countless times, but the 5 youngsters who comprise the Paiva household inhabit their roles completely. Salas deliberately blurs the line between documentary and dramatization and creates an exceptional film. And just quickly on audience reception, so on Letterboxd, it is currently sitting at a 4.4 out of 5 with over 200,000 5-star ratings. 157 people have rated it half a star. You don't know what you're talking about, and you clearly didn't see the same film I did. Just putting it out there. We don't need to care about those 157. Let's care about the 200,000 that saw the same film that we did, right?
Images, opening and closing shots.
So correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the last image that we see in the film is of the empty house. I believe that's when the credits start rolling. So let me know in the comments if I'm wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure at the end it is of the empty house and the camera is moving slowly through the empty house. That imagery is so powerful and it provides so much emotion for something so simple, but it's effective. It's an effective visual cue that really provides, in a sense, closure, but it also represents the film in that unique way. I thought from beginning to end, from the first shot of, her swimming and the helicopters going overhead to the last shot, such a wonderfully crafted film.
Brazilian pride.
Like I've said before in previous videos, I'm Canadian, and so I like seeing Canadian film and filmmakers get out there in the world and be seen by other people. Just like I think the world needs more Canadian films, I think the world needs more Brazilian films as well. So seeing the Brazilian pride, seeing all the flags online, and even just comments of just the Brazilian colors and the love for this film, I'm Still Here, and the love for Fernanda Torres and everyone involved, it's incredible to see. I'm very happy with it. It warms my heart. And I just hope this opens the door for more Brazilian films to get access to, the North American market and the worldwide market, because we need to be able to see more of these films. I don't know, it just frustrates me that we don't get to see films like I'm Still Here very often. Because honestly, if I'm Still Here wasn't nominated for Best International Feature at the Academy Awards or Best Picture or Fernanda Torres, would I have even been able to see this film? Probably not. I need more Brazilian films in my life. I need more Fernanda Torres.
Criticism.
There has been some criticism that the film is not political enough. My view on this is that the restraint from making it too political is exactly why it's so powerful. Like, there is a political nature to the film, obviously. The beginning of the film is very politically infused because they have conversations about it. But then as the film goes on, it kind of loses it politically, but it gains it in the family struggle and the actual intimate portrayal of what's happening. And so I think that if you made it just more political, well, you would lose the impact that this film has. So anyway, that's just my response to the criticism. Agree with it, disagree with it. I'm good with anything. Awards, nominations, and box office. According to IMDb, I'm Still Here has amassed 50 nominations and 24 wins at the time of this recording at various film festivals, critic circles, and award shows. Of course, Fernanda Torres won Best Actress Drama at the Golden Globes just last month, which was a surprise, but a welcome one. And after watching this film, it is 100% deserved. So I'm very glad that occurred. I'm Still Here was nominated for Best International Feature at the Golden Globes, but unfortunately lost to Emilia Perez, which is very disappointing considering now I've seen both films and one is clearly superior to the other. The BAFTA Awards are on February 16th, so they're coming up pretty quickly. I'm Still Here is nominated there for Best Film Not in the English Language category. And then of course you have the Academy Awards. I'm Still Here has 3 nominations. 1 for Best International Feature, 1 for Best Actress, and the big one, Best Picture. Yeah! Best Picture, baby! Oh, it's so good. It's so good. I'm going to get into Oscar chances in a little bit, so stay tuned. According to Box Office Mojo, I'm Still Here has made over $19 million in worldwide box office at the time of this recording. That's solid. That's actually pretty solid. My quick thoughts. This film stuck with me after the credits rolled. It's not just about politics and dictatorship. It's about remembrance, and it's about survival. It's about family. It's about love. It's about so much more. Who should watch this? Everyone. Everyone. I will tell everybody I know about this film. I want people to go out and see this film. Let's keep this going in the comments. Let me know what you thought. I want to know, what was your favorite part of this film? And the easy answer is going to be Fernanda Torres. That's the easy answer. I want to know, above Fernanda Torres, what was your favorite part of this film? Chances of Oscar success. It has a shot in international feature. Unfortunately, probably not Best Picture, but it should. Now that Emilia Perez has essentially shot itself in the foot because of the absolute chaos that is happening with that film, things have changed. Things have changed. I will say, before the chaos, before the nonsense, I had Emilia Perez taking international feature. However you feel about it, I had it taking international feature. A lot of people did. It was steamrolling through most award shows and critic circles and things like that. So that was never, like, I'm Still Here was number 2, I think. With Emilia Perez seemingly on the outside looking in, could this mean a win for I'm Still Here? Here's the thing. Am I still worried that voters are going to vote for EP? Honestly, I kind of am, because we've seen dumb stuff like that before. And not even on the smaller scale of international feature. We have seen dumb things happen in Best Picture. So I'm still a little worried about that. Honestly, I am. Now, will they vote for EP? I think the chances are significantly decreased now because of everything that's going on. So here's where I'm Still Here can really leapfrog into that first place and take this category, which I'm hoping it does. And especially since Fernanda Torres won the Golden Globe for Best Actress, I feel like more people are going to seek this film out. They are going to want to watch this film, especially because Fernanda Torres is nominated for Best Actress as well. So not only did she win the Golden Globe, but they need to make a decision on who they vote for Best Actress at the Academy Awards. Now, do we know that all voters watch all films nominated? Of course they don't, which is a whole other issue. If you're a voter for the Academy Awards, watch every single film. But anyway, I feel like because of the win, the Golden Globe win, and the nomination for Fernanda Torres in Best Actress, the Best Picture nomination as well, that's pretty key. I think more people are going to seek this film out, and they're going to try and watch it. And truly, once you've seen this film, things change. I mean, at least it did for me. So I would love I'm Still Here to win international feature. So far, as of right now, I've seen 4 out of the 5 nominees. So the only one that I have not seen is, The Seat of the Sacred Fig. Out of the 4 that I've seen, I'm Still Here is the best. Would I be happy if The Girl with the Needle won? Yes, but only if I'm Still Here won Best Picture. So if I'm Still Here is not winning Best Picture, then I want it to win international feature. I want the film itself to win something. I want Fernanda Torres to win her award, but I also want the film to win something as well. So here, definitely. Now moving on to Best Actress. So I'm going to be honest, this entire award season, I've been very high on Demi Moore. I did genuinely love her performance in that crazy, wild movie, but it's been also more of just me being happy that she was nominated, because those roles and those types of films do not get nominated at the Academy Awards very often. So for me, it's been, I love her performance. I'm glad that roles like that are being celebrated and getting nominated. However, if I'm being honest, it's not even close. Fernanda Torres needs to win. She had the best performance, hands down. And now we come to Best Picture, the big one. The fact that I'm Still Here was nominated for Best Picture, well, kind of surprised everyone. I guess the only people who weren't that surprised were, I guess the Oscar voters, but Brazilians. They were like, yeah, of course this needs to be nominated. It's a phenomenal film. We've seen it. You guys just don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, you're right. You're right. So I was very happy with I'm Still Here being nominated for Best Picture. In my nomination reaction video, I made it very clear that I was very excited for that film to be in. I was incredibly disappointed that Sing Sing wasn't nominated, and it was kind of overlooked But honestly, now that I've seen both I'm Still Here and Nickel Boys, I think I would swap Sing Sing and Nickel Boys. I think Sing Sing is better than Nickel Boys, and I think it deserves a Best Picture nomination over Nickel Boys. But over I'm Still Here, no. So here's the thing. So prior to watching I'm Still Here, I didn't really have a Best Picture nominee that I was rooting for. When the nominations had been released, I was kind of just like, I don't know, like there's no real film that I can attach myself to. Like last year, I was very... like I saw Oppenheimer like 12 times in theaters. I love that film. But this year was very different. I mean, I guess I could say that I was kind of rooting for The Substance as well. Because again, that would be insane. If The Substance won Best Picture, that would be insanity. A film like that winning Best Picture? Wild. After watching I'm Still Here, and this is not an exaggeration, I want I'm Still Here to win Best Picture. Because I think I'm Still Here is far and away the best film on that nominee list. So I kind of want I'm Still Here to pull a Parasite, where it's an international feature that people do genuinely love, but they're not thinking will win Best Picture, and it just snatches it, and it brings that trophy home. Can it be done? I think there's a path towards it. I think there is a path towards it. I think right now, I mean, it was going to, honestly, I think Emilia Perez was going to run away with it initially. I think that's not going to happen anymore. I think the number 2 film for a lot of people, in terms of who was going to win, Anora, probably it would be Anora, maybe The Brutalist. It's kind of all the way up in the air. I don't know. We still have the BAFTAs coming up, but can I'm Still Here just sneakily snatch it away? I really do hope so. But we'll see on March 2nd. So to recap, international feature, I'm still worried that Emilia Perez will get votes, but I think I'm Still Here will ultimately end up winning it, and it better. Best Actress, I have a feeling Demi Moore will take the trophy home, but Fernanda Torres should. And Best Picture, I don't think I'm Still Here will win Best Picture, even though it should win Best Picture. Now, does it have a shot? I hope so, but I don't necessarily think so. I think it might be like a Nora or The Brutalist or something like that. And so that's my Oscar review for Best Picture nominee, I'm Still Here. Like I said before, let me know in the comments what your favorite character, moment, scene was. What impacted you the most? And for any Brazilians out there, did you grow up in that era? Did you have parents that grew up in that era? The comment section isn't necessarily the forum for divulging personal information, but I'm just curious if you just had a connection at all. You don't have to specify what connection that was. I would just be interested in hearing if you did have any sort of personal connections to this story in some way. And for everyone watching this video, what do you think of the Oscar chances? Do you think I'm Still Here will win International Feature? Do you think Fernanda Torres will win Best Actress? And ultimately, do you think I'm Still Here has a shot at Best Picture? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video.